In 1927, Eben Byers was the envy of America. He was the son of a steel tycoon, a Harvard graduate, and the U.S. amateur golf champion. He was young, wealthy, and famous. He had the world at his feet. 5 years later, Eben Byers was a monster. He was lying in a hospital bed, weighing only 90 pounds. His teeth had fallen out, his bones were splintering, and his entire lower jaw had simply detached from his face. He wasn't the victim of a violent crime. He hadn't caught a rare jungle virus. Eben Byers was killed by a legally sold, government-approved energy drink that he drank every single day. Welcome to Law and Disorder. Today, we open the file on the Radithor Scandal, the medical disaster that proved that just because it's as legal doesn't mean it won't kill you. To understand this tragedy, we have to understand the insanity of the 1920s. Today, the word radiation makes us think of nuclear bombs and Chernobyl. But 100 years ago, radiation was the newest health craze. When Marie Curie discovered radium, science didn't fully understand the danger. People saw that radium glowed in the dark, giving off energy. So, the logic was simple. If it gives off energy, maybe it will give me energy. It was everywhere. There was radioactive wool to keep babies warm, radioactive chocolate bars for energy. There was even radioactive toothpaste to make your teeth shine. The public was told that small doses of radiation stimulated the cells, a concept called mild radium therapy. Enter Eben Byers. In 1927, he fell out of a train berth and hurt his arm. The pain was nagging him. He wanted a quick fix. So, his physiotherapist, a man named Dr. Moyer, recommended a new patent medicine called Radithor. But Radithor wasn't made by a doctor. It was the invention of a man named William J. Bailey. Bailey claimed to be a Harvard doctor. In reality, he was a dropout and a con artist who had already been fined for selling fake aphrodisiacs. But in the unregulated world of the 1920s, he saw a gold mine in radium. Most radium products on the market were fakes. They contained no actual radium. But Bailey was different. He wanted his product to be premium. So, he actually dissolved real isotopes of radium-226 and radium-228 into distilled water. He sold it for $1 a bottle, about $15 in today's money. It was expensive. It was marketed as perpetual sunshine, a cure for the living dead, and Eben Byers was his best customer. Eben Byers drank his first bottle and felt a placebo effect. He was convinced it was working. He felt stronger. He felt younger. He began sending cases of Radithor to his business partners. He even gave it to his horses. Byers wasn't just drinking a bottle a week. He was drinking 3 bottles a day. Over a period of 3 years, it is estimated he consumed 1,400 bottles of radioactive water. Here is the medical horror. The human body mistakes radium for calcium. So when Byers drank the water, his body grabbed the radioactive poison and deposited it directly into his bones, thinking it was building strength. He was becoming a walking nuclear reactor. His skeleton was literally buzzing with radiation. And for 3 years, he felt fine, until the headache started. In 1930, the perpetual sunshine turned dark. Byers lost weight. He had severe aches in his body. And then, the horror began. His teeth started falling out without any pain. The bone tissue in his jaw was dying, a condition called radium jaw. When his teeth were removed, the jawbone didn't heal. It just crumbled. His skull began to form holes. By this time, the Federal Trade Commission was investigating William Bailey for fraud. They asked Byers to testify. But Byers was too sick to come to court. So, a lawyer named Robert Wynne went to Byers' mansion on Long Island. The report Robert Wynne wrote is one of the most gruesome documents in legal history. He described Byers as a young, well-formed man who was barely able to speak. He wrote that Byers' whole lower jaw and chin were gone, and that his bones were disintegrating. Despite the agony, Byers was mentally alert. He knew he had been scammed. He gave his testimony, exposing Radithor as a poison. Eben Byers died on March 31, 1932. He was 51 years old. His autopsy revealed that his body contained enough radium to kill 3 men. Because his corpse was so radioactive, he was buried in a lead-lined coffin to prevent the radiation from leaking into the soil. And the villain, William Bailey, was never charged with murder. The government shut down his company, but he walked away rich. However, justice eventually caught up with him. Bailey died of bladder cancer in 1949, likely caused by drinking his own product. The death of Eben Byers was a wake-up call. It led to the strengthening of the FDA and the end of the radioactive patent medicine era. Eben Byers died a horrific death, but his tragedy likely saved millions of others from the same fate. This has been a file from Law and Disorder. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button and subscribe. We upload new cases of history's dark side every week.